For those of you who don't know me, I'm Frank. I'm Sam's little brother. I'm also Carlos's best man. I'm not trying to land the job, but here we are. Before I get started, I just want to say shout out to my mom. She put a lot into this wedding. Late nights, hard work. You can thank her for the caramels you have on your tables. My mom, she had two big jobs tonight. One was to make sure I had a good best man speech, and the other was to keep me away from the open bar, and she failed at both. Alright? Now, before I met Carlos, I kind of felt like I already knew him. If you don't know this about Sam, when she has a little bit of a crush or whatever, she turns into a bit of a stalker. Alright? Now, she hadn't spoken a word to him yet she knew where he grocery shopped, she knew where he worked out, and oddly enough, she even knew where he lived. He lived in our city and he didn't have a car, so he'd walk everywhere and he'd Sam somehow we'd always see him. Bit of a coincidence that maybe. So this one time we're driving past him and he turns off on the road and Sam says, "Hey, do you think we should follow him and see what he does?" Which at this time I'm thinking, all right, either we have a great love story on our hands or we might have a bit of a problem. But then I actually met Carlos, and when I met him he said maybe about 6 words. And he's got that broken English, so I figured I'd let it slide. So getting to know Carlos was a little bit tough for me and my brothers, you know. The first time he met my little brother Jack, he tried to say, Jack had maybe just played a football game, a basketball game, whatever it was. He tried to say, "Good game, Jack." It sounded like nothing like that. And Jack looked at him, he paused, he said, "I'm good, how are you?" And that's kind of how it went for a while. It's kind of how it went. But you don't need perfect English to find out what kind of guy someone is. And they hadn't been dating very long. And Carlos, he starts showing up to our birthdays. He starts showing up to basketball games, football games. He even lent me money a few times. And I keep asking for it because he never asked me to pay it back. But me and my brothers, we always wondered who was going to be able to put up with my sister's crippling addiction to eat out every chance she gets. And this one day, as I got to know Carlos a little better, it started to make perfect sense why they worked together so well. So me and Carlos were driving. I don't remember where we were going. There's a deer that just got hit on the side of the road, and he casually throws into conversation that he lived off a deer his coworker hit for 3 months. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, this is perfect. Sam needs a little bit of this in her life. And Sam and Carlos, they have this house they're renovating. I've helped Carlos out on it a few times. This guy's the hardest worker I've ever met. I actually mean that. He really is. It's a little too much for me personally. He takes no breaks. He doesn't complain and a problem comes up and he just instantly has a solution for it no matter how hard it is. This one time my dad was trying to figure out how to get this wheelbarrow back to the house to work, and Carlos just was casually like, "Bring me back, I'll walk it across town." And that was just like the easy solution to him. That was the first thing that came to his mind. That's just who he is. But the most important thing to me about Carlos isn't how hard he works. It's not how good he cooks or how he lends me money from time to time. It's how he's there for Sam, but more importantly to me, how he's there for Alea. Because that's not a role that you're like forced into. That's a role you have to pick and choose every day, and he does. Patiently, consistently. And I'll see him redo her, he'll sing her to bed, he'll change her diapers. He even has this sick Mickey Mouse impression which happens about him. But yeah, that's why they work together so well. I love how he treats Alea. I trust him with Sam, I trust him with Alea. I could not have picked a better person for Sam myself. So let's raise a glass to Sam and Carlos.
I'm gonna step out of the way. Alright, we're gonna wrap this thing up here, and I believe Carlos is going to have a few words in Espanol. So here we go, Carlos.
Hey everyone, I just want to say thank you all for being here, celebrating with us. That means a lot. Matt, again, thank you. Sam, thanks for everything you did on. Not just today, but every day. Thank you. I'm very happy. Well, let's celebrate. Cheers. I suppose I have to say something in Spanish. Gracias por haber venido, muchachos. De verdad aprecio mucho que están acá. Gracias.
All right, we're going to turn you loose. We're going to be on the dance floor a little bit. Hey, just want to let you know, so tonight we are starting with the father-daughter dance, then we will go into the bride and groom dance. When we do, it's going to be interesting out there with the monkey head. All right, when we get into the bride and groom's first dance, they would love it. After about a minute, they're going to dance, and then I want all the couples to join them on the dance floor. They would love if you'd come out and share that dance with them, okay? So just be ready for that, all right? It's going to be an amazing night. Let's celebrate. Great couple. Thank you so much. Let me see that thing. That is stupid.